Welcome to my channel Daily Bulletin News. How Radioactive Paulina risks exposing everyone to fine channel, and Maggie proposes to Konstantin. Wednesday, April 17, 2024. Today on Days of Our Lives, Maggie finds a solution to Konstantin's problem, while John finds information on his ex-wife. Eric overhears an incriminating conversation and channel is saved, but danger could still lurk. Please note that if you purchase something by clicking on a link within this story, we may receive a small commission of the sale. Sloane comes home beaming over how much money she's making from her new client. Focused on his laptop, Eric hopes it's a lot because they're having serious financial problems. She looks at his spreadsheet and announces she found the problem. He's added all their expenses as fixed, but some fluctuate. She'll fix it all after she checks on Jude. On the phone at the pub, John instructs someone to dig into Konstantin's public records for anything that will lead them to his ex. After he hangs up, Marlena calls John. Paulina's missing from her hospital room and could be exposing others to harmful levels of radiation. More. Backlash over Jeopardy. Masters contestant. As Johnny searches outside for channel, Paulina arrives at the cabin. She orders a shocked Julie to stand back. She couldn't just sit in her room with her baby girl missing. She instructs Julie to search one way while she searches the other. In his room at the mansion, Konstantin vows to Katharina's photo that he will find a way to stay in Salem to finish what he started. He searches for the pawn card but can't find it. Where the hell is it? At the Kyriakis mansion, the maid, Ellie, brings Maggie documents. Maggie appears unsettled as she reads them. Konstantin storms in, demanding to know if Ellie saw his card while cleaning his room. Maybe she stole it? Maggie yells at Konstantin, who apologizes. The card is very important to him. Ellie leaves to ask the staff if they've seen it. Konstantin lies to Maggie that the card was very important to Katharina. Once he's settled down, Maggie tells him she has bad news. When Marlena arrives at the pub, John tells her he's learned that Paulina commandeered a snowplow to search for a missing channel on Smith Island. Marlena states they have to notify the first responders not to go anywhere near her. She's radioactive. John calls them. Marlena stresses about Paulina, but John can relate to her mama bear mode. They credit each other for being strong while Sami and Belle were each in danger. Sloane brings Jude out to Eric in their apartment. Eric notes she shouldn't have to shoulder their financial burdens alone, so he's going to start focusing on editorial photography. She suggests he offer his services to the Spectator. After he rushes out, Sloane tells Jude they have to keep the secret that Eric and Nicole are his real parents so she can be his mommy forever. Paulina helps a shivering Channel limp into the cabin. Paulina stands across the room as Channel details how she slipped through the snow and got caught in the rocks. She then realizes Paulina's supposed to be in the hospital. Paulina just couldn't stay there while she was missing. Sloane puts Jude in his crib and calls Leo at the paper. She's hoping he can help Eric get work. Leo points out he doesn't have that kind of power. Sloane knows he can be persuasive when he needs to be. Make sure Eric gets the job or else. Leo reminds her he's the one blackmailing her, not the other way around. Eric enters, wondering who Leo's blackmailing these days. Leo fibs that it's just a tactic in the gossip game. Eric asks to talk with Chad or Everett, just Alexander. Leo explains they're all out, but to send him his digital portfolio. After Eric does, the men discuss Jude and how Leo is striving to be a decent person. At the pub, John tells Marlena that he and Steve are looking for Konstantin's ex. Marlena suggests he not do anything until he's prepared for what he'll find. John thinks if Marlena were his therapist and not his wife, she'd encourage him to follow his gut. John gets a text from his guy with details on Konstantin's wife, Elizabeth. At the Kyriakis mansion, Maggie tells Konstantin her legal team can't find a path forward to extending his visa. She apologizes, but he knows she's gone above and beyond. He'll miss the place, and her most of all. Maggie will miss him too. She was hopeful they could have found a way for him to stay. She looks thoughtful as he goes to pack his bags. At the cabin, Paulina worries about being so close to Channel. Channel knows she was just doing what she thought was right while being radioactive. It happens. Johnny rushes back to Channel on the couch. He notices Paulina, deducing she was the one driving the snowplow. He tells Channel how panicked he was as Paulina realizes Julie is still out there. At home, Sloane grows frustrated over a fussy Jude. She calls Leo as Eric leaves the Spectator office. Eric listens at the door as Leo promises to give a top-shelf endorsement and work every angle he can. After Johnny calls her, Julie stumbles back to the cabin. Julie is grateful Paulina found Channel, but hopes she hasn't done more harm than good by exposing them. After John calls his guy, he tells Marlena that Konstantin's wife disappeared after signing divorce papers. There hasn't been a sign of her since. As he packs, Konstantin furiously looks for his card. Maggie comes to his room with a proposal. Will you marry me? Next on Days of Our Lives, Thursa gets bad news and a Dimera family war brews. Stay tuned and subscribe the channel.